So, Nick, how do you think companies are handling the supply chain crisis in electronic components?
Well, I think it depends a bit on which companies you're talking about. This situation has been going on for quite some time, and certainly the larger companies with more experience have adapted to the situation. I mean, they perhaps at the beginning they were taken a little bit by surprise, but now nobody's surprised by 52-week or more lead times, and so they've adjusted their supply chain, their purchasing, their stock provision accordingly. And whilst they may not like what this involves in terms of making bigger commitments, more firm commitments, holding more stock, they're capable of doing it, and they have. So they've stabilised, I would say, the situation. And the ones who are struggling much more are the smaller companies who've never had the same rigorous supply chain management and so on, and been more used by dealing in smaller quantities to not be placing orders a long way in advance. And they're the ones that are caught out, that are struggling, that perhaps order infrequently, and so have only found out late in a day how bad things are.
So, how do you think they can adjust to the new situation?
Well, I mean, really, the smaller companies have to behave like the big ones. I mean, normally in the evolution of a company, a small company, doesn't necessarily address sort of highly structured professional supply chain management until it's much bigger. But unfortunately, the smaller companies have to learn this as a priority and plan like the big companies, which means planning a long way in advance, trying to produce detailed forecasts, ordering components in advance, and holding stock. Now, of course, that isn't easy for a small company. They don't necessarily have the skills and experience. They don't necessarily have oodles of cash spare to invest in stock. But at least they have to think about these things and consciously balance the risk of holding too much stock or not being able to produce anything at the end of the day, and at least take more professional approach to supply chain management, at least within the constraints of being a small company.
Thank you.